I'm Tiger TV sports reporter TJ Polk here alongside head basketball coach Will Wade. Coach Wade, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, TJ.
No problem. The Tigers are coming off of a championship victory in the Emerald Coast Classic in Destin, Florida this past weekend. Coach, explain to us how that was this weekend over Thanksgiving break, getting to win that championship and coming back to the boot and looking forward to finishing December out strong.
Yeah, it was great. You know, we haven't won one of these tournaments. They're called multi-team events. We haven't won one of these multi-team events since 2004, and we hadn't won one outside Louisiana since 1999. So it's been a long time since we've had success in these tournaments. And so we've been able to check off a lot of things since we've been here, and this was another box that we wanted to get checked, was to win one of these multi-team events. And we beat a team from the Big Ten, we beat a team from the ACC, so we beat two power conference teams to do it, and it was very good weekend for our ball club.
Describe this year's team to us. It's a special feel that we're feeling so far in the PMAC. The fans are really enjoying it. Describe what this team and the specialty behind it.
Yeah. You know, I want to thank the students. The students have been great. We've had over 1,000 students at every one of our home games, which is incredible. We've had the 5 home games so far, and we've had over 1,000 students at each of them, which is just tremendous, especially for non-conference play. So I want to make sure I thank them. But our team, our team's more. We're a little grittier, we're a little grimier, we play a lot harder, and I think our fans feed off that. I think our fans like that, and our team feeds off the fans. That's why it's important to have great support, great student support, great fan support. Because even when we were down in Florida this weekend, it was like the PMAC down in Destin. We had a ton of great support there, and so. It's a team that's much more defensive oriented than we've been. We're still solid on offense, probably not as elite as we've been on offense, but our defense is markedly better, and most importantly, our rebounding has improved significantly as well.
For sure. So, speaking of defense, defensively, we've held our opponents to 54 points on average. Speaking of defense, defensively, we've held our opponents to 54 points on average. So what has been the mindset going into each game that's allowed us to hold some of these teams to barely even scoring 50 points?
I think our guys, we want to contest every floorboard on the court, and I think our guys have done a really good job of that. We gamble a little bit more in our full court pressure, and we're very aggressive in the full court for sure. Then in the half court, we're a little more solid, and we're able to stay down and sit in front of the ball. We've got really good players. I mean, look, we've got quick guards. You can run a good defense if you got a good big kid in the back like Efton, who's a goalie and a goaltender. When he's not in there, Eason's a really good shot blocker, and he's at the back of it. And then you got guys that can pressure the ball. You got Penson, who had 7 steals in a game. You got Gaines, who's had 5 steals. I think Imwani Wilkinson leads the country in steals. And so you've got guys that are just really good defenders and tough and can stay in front of the ball. When you stay in front of the ball, you don't get put in rotation as much. And we probably haven't had that the last couple of years, and we've got really good defensive-minded players, and we've got really good athletes. You got Alex Fudge, we've just got good athletes and good players.
And a lot of the names that the depth that we've have, it seems this year is just different than we had in the past. So how is that like the spark that guys like Eric Gaines can bring, his speed, his just energize? I call him like an Energizer bunny because he just comes in the game and he's quick to make plays. And you have guys like Alex Fudge, they seem to feed off of each other. Tar Easton, like you said in the press conference the other day, how he missed the dunk, but he came right back and he got another steal and was able to get that dunk. Just talk about the depth of our team and the talent that we have.
8 guys right now, 15 or more minutes a game, and so that's a strength of ours. We haven't always had that where we have guys that can play major minutes like that, and we have a bunch of them. And we've got 8 of them right now that can play major minutes, and all have stepped up and made plays and made things happen, made great things happen at different times. And so, I tell our guys, hey, our 5 may not be as good as their 5, but our 8's a lot better than their 5, or our 8's a lot better than their 6 or 7, or however many they got. And so I look at it like we've got 8 starters. All 8 of those guys could start for just about any team. But we've got great depth. We've got really good players, and they play extremely hard. And so one thing the depth has allowed us to do is in the past we've had to play guys tons of minutes, like 34, 35, 36 minutes, which they all love, but there's just diminishing returns after a certain number. After about 27, 28 minutes a game, there's diminishing returns. And so we've been able to, to play guys a more normalized minutes this year because of our depth as well, which has allowed us to play harder and play longer in better stretches.
Yes, sir. That's awesome. And so, like, we have transfer, Xavier Pinson, Darius Days, he did come back this season. Could you talk about the leadership and the experience that they bring to the locker room and how the guys respect them and, just speak on that for us?
Yeah, Penson, Days, and Imwani Wilkinson, that's our leadership council. We meet every Thursday morning and go through things, and they've got, they've got 3 or 4 guys on the team. Each of them are in charge of, and that, that's in their, we call them units. It's in their unit, and they're competing against each other each week within our team. And so, you got Penson and you got Days who've been through it in the SEC. They, Penson was at Mizzou, and Days has obviously been with us for a long time. So those guys know what it takes to prepare to win. Everybody wants to win on game day, but who wants to win 2 days before game day? Who wants to win the day before game day? Like, who's willing to do all the stuff that you have to do in terms of sleeping and nutrition and all the stuff that adds up to winning? And those guys are helping the younger guys understand everything that goes into winning. It's not just you just show up and you just play like it is in high school or JUCO or whatever it is. You just show up, eat McDonald's, and go play. That's not how it works. And so those guys have been great with that, and Wani's been great with that. And so we've got really good rhythm. We got really good chemistry right now. We just got to keep it moving as the season goes along.
Yes, sir. And so could you talk to us a little bit about your coaching philosophy, how you've come in going into we're now in your 5th season. We won an SEC championship. We've had that Sweet 16 appearance. Could you talk a little bit about your philosophy and how you've been able to cultivate the program and what you furthermore hope to see from the program?
Yeah, man, I think we're just getting started. I mean, the philosophy's sitting up there on the wall. Chance favors the aggressor. So, everything we do, we want to be aggressive. I tell our guys all the time, let me say whoa, not go. Like, I want you to be moving. And so, I think we've had some good success here. There's another level we can reach. We're working on that hard every day. We're a really good program. We're a top 25 program right now, but we need to bust into that elite category, which is those top 10 to 12 teams in the country. And there's some strides we have to make. One of the biggest strides we had to make was on defense. And I think we've started to turn that and make that stride. And there's a couple other areas, internally I've been meeting with the administration and we've been going through some things of how can we really take that next step. And there's a couple other areas that we need to take, and we're all together and working on that. And we've been meeting every couple weeks to go through things. And I think we're on a good path. I think we've been very successful these first 4 or 5 years, but the best is yet to come. I mean, we've got a lot more progress we can make. We've got a lot more in the tank here. We've got a lot more. We've got a lot of room to continue to grow, and that's what I'm most excited about as we move forward.
And so, this year and in the past, Parker Edwards, he's been our guy. But this year, he's really seemed to come off the bench. A couple games ago, he was able to score 9 points, I think it was, and he had a free throw, some good things happening. And then we have General Wade. So could you just talk about how, like, the interaction between our fans, like we've kind of hit on, but just social media, everything has kind of cultivated what we have going on here at LSU.
What I was talking about, I'm kind of old school. I believe if you got to tell everybody what you're doing, you're really not doing it. So I'm not big into broadcasting everything that we do. That's just the way I've been. But our players came to me this summer and said, Coach, we work our butts off and everybody else has all these videos out. So we hired a guy, Garrison Floyd. He's done an unbelievable job documenting the program with the gold standard episodes and all that stuff. I'm just not big on giving people access and that sort of stuff. They always joke it's like North Korea over here. We shut the doors and nobody really knows what, we kind of keep to ourselves and do what we do. But that was part of it for our players, is expanding our social media reach and really telling our players stories, helping get good stuff out there about them, get good stuff out there about our program, engaging the fans, engaging the students. They came to me, marketing, and Nelson, my ops guy, with the General Wade idea, and I said, look, if you think it'll help us engage people and engage students, I'm 100% for it. I'm all for it, and it's obviously
it's
worked.
working.
It's worked to some extent, so that's been great. And we love Parker. He's played well for us. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
Obviously, how he torched us when he was at Southeastern, but he's a really good player. He's a great teammate. He's a great kid, great family. He's actually going to graduate school here. He starts graduate school in the spring, and so very, very excited just to have him around and be able to get him in the game. So I know the students love it when we get him in.
And could you talk about how changing the social media and being more open, how that would affect like recruiting and the NIL, like now with what we have with student athletes in NCAA, now social media is really the number one go-to. So could you explain how that helps us as a program?
Huge.
Number one go-to. So could you explain how that helps us as a program?
It's huge. It all goes into. That's part of the reason I did it. Look, I'll do anything that's good for our players. If it's right for our players and it's right by our players. And Adam Miller, actually the kid who's hurt, he came up to me and said, "Coach, we worked way harder than we did it. But at Illinois, we had all this social media, it looked good and all this stuff." He's like, can we put some stuff out there so people appreciate how? And I said, you know what, Adam, you're right. And it also, we've had an episode with Days. Each of our players is going to be featured in different episodes. And so it'll help our guys continue to build their brand, people to get to know them more than just what they see on the basketball court. Because we've got as good a basketball players as we have unbelievable kids and men, really. And they've got just some unique talents. I mean, some of them are into fashion, some of them are good cooks. They can do a lot of they can just do a lot of different things. They got a wide knowledge base, and just to be able to share that with people and let people know, hey, they just we've got really, really solid men and solid people, and they also happen to be really good at basketball. So social media is really good for all that, and gives you an inside look, a little bit of an inside look at exactly how we do things and how we roll.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have today with head basketball coach Will Wade. The Tigers face off this Wednesday here at home, so I know he is expecting to see the students and fans pack the PMAC. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm TJ Polk. Back to you guys. Yeah, that's good.